Hello there. A very good morning to you and thanks for joining us. This is the newspaper review right here on TAF TV for today, the 29th day of April 2022. My name is Cyril Aloysius, bringing you the headlines for today. But as you know, before I do that, we'll go on a quick break. And when we come back, all the details of the headlines will be coming your way. Do stay with us after the short break.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by TAF Media Limited. All right, you're welcome back from that short break, and taking you straight now to our first paper for this morning. We shall be looking first at the Punch. The first headline in the Punch here says, Presidency, PDP reps, Sands warn Jonathan. Group threatens suit. PDP reps, Sands warns Jonathan. Group threatens suit. That's on page 2 of the Punch. And next in the Punch we have Nigeria's proven gas reserves worth over $803.4 trillion, according to the government, on page 34 of the Punch. Federal government declares Monday, Tuesday public holidays. Federal government declares Monday and Tuesdays public holiday. That's on page 25 of the Punch. And next in the Punch we have PDP leaders will work to rescue Nigeria, says Makinde. PDP leaders will work to rescue Nigeria, says Makinde, on page 45 of the Punch. And next we have UI student disappears from Lagos construction site. Family panics. That's on page 4 and 5. And of the Punch, UI student disappears from Lagos construction site. Family panics. Next in the Punch we have ASU. NLC plans solidarity protest. A 3-day warning strike. That's on page 45 of the Punch. I'll go again. ASU. NLC plans solidarity protest. A 3-day warning strike on page 45 of the Punch. And next in the Punch we have train attack. Terrorists release newborn's picture. CAN intensifies prayers. That's on page 9 of the Punch. And next in the Punch we have, in page 8 of the Punch, we have I deserve right of first refusal. Atiku tells PDP, says I deserve right of first refusal. Atiku tells PDP on page 8 of the Punch. And lastly in the Punch for this morning we have NNPC. 3 others generate 28.2 trillion naira in 3 years. NNPC and 3 others generate 28.2 trillion naira in 3 years. according to NEITI report on page 31 of the Punch. Okay, that's the much we can take in the Punch. Taking you straight now to the Nation newspaper for this morning. We have amongst the headlines in the Nation. This one here says, Buhari to court. Electoral Act 84, subsection 12, unconstitutional. Buhari to court. Electoral Act 84, subsection 12, unconstitutional. Next in the Nation, we have shutdown of 840 megawatts plants to worsen power outage. Okay, yeah, welcome back. We sincerely apologize for that swift break in transmission. Okay, we'll continue from where we stopped. We said shutdown of 840 megawatts plants to worsen power outage. Next, we have insecurity. Sokoto residents sleep in Niger rep. Sokoto residents sleep in Niger rep. That's on page 4 of the Nation. Next in the Nation, we have terrorist release photo of baby born in hostage. Terrorist release photo of baby born in hostage. That's on page 2 of the Nation. And lastly, in the Nation, we have Zenith Bank's QI earnings rose by 22% to 191.5 billion naira. Falana Jonathan barred by Constitution from contesting. Falana Jonathan barred by Constitution from contesting. That's on page 6 and page 7 of the Nation. Okay, that's the much you can take in the Nation. Taking you straight now to This Day newspaper. Amongst the headlines in This Day, we have train attack. Terrorist release photograph of baby delivered in captivity by abducted woman. Terrorist release photograph of baby delivered in captivity by abducted woman. And next, in This Day, we have Total joins exodus of oil majors from onshore Nigeria. Total joins exodus of oil majors from onshore Nigeria. Sorry for that. And next. Growth accelerates with 22% rise in gross earnings in Q1. Zenith Bank's growth accelerates with 22% rise in gross earnings in Q1. Okay. Lastly, in This Day, we have federal government puts total value of Nigeria's gas reserves at 803, $0.4 trillion. That's on page 6 of This Day. Okay, right about now we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll continue with the headlines for today. Do stay with us.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited. Alright, you're welcome back from that short break. And taking you now to our last paper for this morning. We have amongst the headlines in the Vanguard. This one here says, How I Became Vice President. According to Osibanjo, How I Became Vice President. According to Osibanjo on page 5 of the Vanguard. Next in the Vanguard we have gunmen attack bullion van in Imo, smash many vehicles. Gunmen attack a bullion van in Imo, smash many vehicles. That's on page 6 of the Vanguard. Next we have in the Vanguard 2023, why I opposed section 84 subsection 12 of new electoral act. Buhari tells court why I opposed section 84 subsection 12 of new electoral act. Buhari tells court. That's on page 10 of the Vanguard. And next in the Vanguard we have train attack. Terrorist release picture of baby born in captivity. Terrorist release picture of baby born in captivity. That's on page 6 of the Vanguard. And next in the Vanguard we have 30 days after train attack. Federal government should have rescued kidnapped victims. That's according to CAN on page 9 of the Vanguard. Next in the Vanguard we have how housing agency took my life savings, rendered me homeless. That's according to Octogenarian on page 13 of the Vanguard. And next we have Delta 2023, why I won't accept your candidate. Okowa tells Ibori on page 12 of the Vanguard. And lastly in the Vanguard for this morning we have Zenith Bank records 22% growth in Q1 2022. That's on page 19 of the Vanguard. Okay, that's the much we can take in the newspaper headlines for this morning. Thank you so much for staying there. Right about now, it's time for us to move over to our discussion segment, the segment where we talk about some of the interesting headlines in today's papers. Do stick with us. We'll be right back after the short break.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by THAF. Okay, you're welcome back from that short break, and joining me in today's discussion segment is one of our very popular faces here. That's Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, straight to the business of the day. There are lots of interesting headlines today in the papers, but we're taking How I Became Vice President by Osibanjo. What's your take on that headline?
Okay, I read a bit of the story, and it got so interesting to me to note that actually why Buhari was the person in question that really selected who he wants to run the presidency with, as in respect to vice presidency slot. Okay. So prior to that time, we had that was in 2014. So when he had won the APC primaries as at then, so there was this will I say push that Osibanjo Bola Tinubu will become vice president. I was shocked to hear that today, or see that on the papers today. But Buhari himself had to say no to that. Reason, because of religion. Buhari is a Muslim, and having Tinubu as the vice president will mean that we have a Muslim run, and mind you, it will be fully one-sided because Nigeria is divided along religious lines, whether we like it or not. So when the president told Bola Tinubu that, see, it cannot work, then there was a bit of rift, and I learned from the report there were some altercations. But beforehand, Tinubu himself had already sold a bit of Osibanjo reluctantly to Buhari. But when it now dawned on him that I've sold this guy you beforehand, he wasn't happy from what the report said. But along the line, Aregbesola, who is the current Minister for Interior, Bisi Akande, who is a BOT member, and Amosu himself, they came together and say, see, let Osibanjo take this space. And Osibanjo on his own, just like what happened to Goodluck Jonathan, Osibanjo was just on his own. He was in Lagos. As at that time, he was doing a case about a tenant apartment in Lagos, a very big case then. And all of a sudden, around 1 a.m., he got a call from Arabs, that's Rauf Aregbesola, that, see, you are becoming the next vice president of this country. And he was amazed. He was amazed and shocked. He said it came as like a shock to him.
Question is, who would be amazed?
Well, so he was like that same night that he was looking at his wig, and he was like, this could be probably the last time I will wear this. Okay? That aside, just yesterday, he was at Benin. He was at the Oba's Palace.
Okay.
And there was this statement Oba made just yesterday. This is not just about your ambitions and all that. Mind you, just like a businessman will tell you the customer is king. And politicians know that the electorates are their kings. But they keep dumping these kings after their ambitions have been met. Going back to what happens after elections, you find out that these guys, many of them don't care anymore.
More like after you climb up the ladder, you throw away the ladder.
But towards the tail end of their tenure, you find out they come up again with their lies.
And Nigerians will still vote them.
Look at the kind of promises they've been making nowadays. Everybody will just come up. Even Minister of Labour that has failed, with respect as far as I'm concerned, he has failed in that position. The lawyers are at him. the students, lecturers are against these guys, but they don't have that shame, no shame. They are coming out again to throw out their lies.
So, Mr. Victor, I have a question to ask. Since it is now becoming a norm that after a person achieves his political ambition, probably after he must have told, said a whole lot in his manifesto that he would do this, he would do that, and then finally he gets into office and then he abandons, like you said, abandons the people who brought him there, and then goes about his own business. And then when he comes to election again, he now remembers the people. Don't you think this should bring about a more strict, will I say, strict rule in terms of punishment for, okay, you said you would do this and you did not do it, so as a result of this you have no right to come out again to contest for any other thing. We gave you a chance and then you didn't take it. Don't you think there should be stricter rules to politicians who initially promised social thing and then they did not achieve it?
I think that falls back to our electoral architecture. Our elections, if they are free and fair, these politicians will not have all these their excesses. Because you know that when you open your mouth, the internet is here too to record facts.
Yes.
When you open your mouth and make these promises, that the people will follow up on your promises.
There are videos to
yes, and at the tail end of your tenure, these promises will be read and will check which you have met. Then the people will say, okay, you did promise and fail.
Yes.
You lied to us, and they will vote you out. Knowing that the electoral system is intact, without void, that everything is going as if you vote one, you get one man, one vote. By that means, this politician will know that, see, I'm up to, if I open my mouth and voice out all this rubbish, I'm voicing out all these empty promises, that at the tail end of my tenure, these people will hold me accountable. Right now, a whole lot of politicking is going on. You find out these guys are traveling. The roads, the sky is not the roads. They've been moving here and there. Same yesterday, I don't know where these guys get this energy. Same yesterday, the VP was, like I told you, he was at the Oba's palace. From there, he went to Delta State.
Benin.
Yeah, he went to Asaba yesterday to meet the Asaba of Asaba, Prof. Obi Edozian. He was there with him. He also, right now, what these guys are doing, when they meet these Obas, they might not tell you, but there's always a negotiation. In as much as, yes, they also meet the Obas and call up their delegates. Oh yeah, guys, come, let's converge at the Oba's palace and let's have a meeting. Yes, they many a times they don't show you everything that happens in there, but behind the scene there is always negotiations. Okay, if you people vote me, this is what I will do for you. So yesterday it came up on the news that the Asaba of Asaba came out to tell the vice president that, see, we don't have electricity, you guys need to do something about that. And if you go to Asaba doesn't have good electricity there. So this is time that these guys they negotiate. Also, he made a point, he made another request that Asaba needs a federal university. You see, so at any given point when these politicians travel, there is always one negotiation or the other. But the question is, will they fulfill this negotiation when they agree?
But Mr. Victor, question is, why must it be now? Like, why does it always have to be a year to election and these politicians come out to stay and make all sorts of promises to say, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, give me this. Why must it always get to this point before they begin to sit up?
Because
now is the time when you begin to see most of them wanting to do, let's say, eye service. Most of them are not trying to probably want to do this for the citizens. They want to do that, want to do this. People will say, oh, they are really working. Why must it be now?
It's part of the politicking. If you check, when it comes closer, these promises stick on the minds of the people. Okay, I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
So they tend to do this about this time so that it will stick on their minds of the people, and boom, they can get what they want.
All right, Mr. Victor, let's not dwell much on that particular headline. What do you make of terrorists releasing photograph of a newborn baby delivered by one of their abductees?
When I saw the picture, it was really
it's all over the papers now.
Yeah, it was really pitiful, and it's very. It should be a thing of joy that a child has come to this world.
Yes.
But also, mind you, if that child survives,
it's a bittersweet taste in the mouth of people.
Okay,
right?
Beautiful. So if the child survives this atrocity that is being meted on the baby and the mother, it might extend further to psychological problems.
Yes.
For the child.
Obviously.
So yes, like we've heard, this kidnapping happened in March 18th. It's well over a month that it happened, and the question now is, what is the government of today doing
about it?
Mind you, we still have Chibok girls.
Yeah.
That this government used the Chibok tragedy to gain acceptance by the people. This is about 8 years. Yes, it's about 8 years, because one of even the Chibok girls has gone to university and has done a master's.
And that issue has still not been resolved.
No. For now, as it stands, it has been pushed aside. So I think if they don't do anything, as in they need to, in fact, they should forget about the slogan of we don't negotiate with terrorists that the Western world has spread all over the world. But if you also check, the Western world still negotiates with terrorists. I can remember back then, during the Obama's administration, when Ted Cruz of the Republican, during a debate, told the masses that, see, Obama has negotiated with terrorists. When there was a time that there was a release at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, when I can't remember the numbers of prisoners, they were released, I think 5, just about that. They were released, and a major general of the American military was also released at that same time. I don't know if you get me. But these guys, they tend to say, oh, come on, we don't negotiate with terrorists. And mind you, also, when Trump was leaving office, he almost negotiated with the Taliban. And that news, the news of the secret meeting with the Taliban came up. The media got it. I think New York Times or the New Yorker.
But a lot of persons to say it's almost.
Okay, but there are still traces to that.
Okay.
Up to date, because just immediately when Biden came to office, there was a withdrawal of the troops, of the U.S. troops from Taliban, from Afghanistan. Lo and behold, the Taliban got back their in quotes their country. Now, the negotiation that was ongoing, the secret negotiation in quotes, allegedly secret quotation, I said quotations, don't mind me on my business. Negotiation that was ongoing, there was this clause that the Taliban will have their country, but the Taliban and their terrorists will not strike any US citizen on their soil. Are you getting that? And that was just at the tail end of Obama's Trump's administration. And lo and behold, Biden came in, and there was a total shift. Now the Taliban had their country, the US left. So what am I saying? Some of these negotiations go on, and mind you, there are some information that these politicians, I'm talking about non-Nigerian politicians, the Western politicians, will never release to the media, because it is a top secret for the country. So no matter how their rift against one another, or the politics against one another, there are some vital information that they will never release. It's more like they sworn an oath that this information. So what am I saying? In the Nigerian context, Nigerian government should please negotiate with these guys. These guys are not just bandits, mind you. There is a whole lot of link with these terrorists and the ISWAP, meaning the ISIS. And these guys, they have the resources. They even told them that we don't need your monies. Okay, now we have about 63, or we had 63 kidnappers on their kidnapped victims with these guys. They only released one person, who happened to be the former MD of Bank of Agriculture. And there are reports that although he paid 100 million naira, okay, I think he on his own he negotiated so quick, and they were like, now this money, let's just hold it and keep these other remaining persons. And mind you, the government should know that there are kids, there are mothers, there are family members there, there are elderly members there. 8 persons, in fact all ranks of the society are in there, among the 63. Some people are sick. There is a second pregnant woman among them. They should not take they should please, I beg them. And what are these people asking for? They are asking for their prisoners that's been held by the federal government. Okay, and it now goes down to Nigeria should do something about our terrorism act, okay, which already the former governor of Kaduna State, Colonel Umar, has already said that, see, our act, we should do something to our terrorism act. He's coming from the fact that in our act now we have don't deal with terrorists, and anybody that deals with terrorists, the person will go to jail. My brother, you cannot help that fact, because even the local kidnappers that kidnap people, local families, in fact, they take care of this thing without even involving police any longer. They can just send them, okay, oh yeah, the small ones, oh yeah, take 2 million, take 1 million, even down to 100,000, 500,000. So these negotiations cannot end. I think going forward, our terrorism act should make sure that there is a clause and there is a court to say that anytime a kidnap suspect is arrested, the case should not last more than 90 days. Reason: kidnapping is a criminal act. In many cases, it's attempted murder. So deal with them accordingly by the law. And I think our laws should be strict here. We should make sure, personally, if I'm a lawmaker, I'll make sure that act of terrorism should go by the gun or by the knife. The person should die. Okay. Kill the person. Okay. Strong words though, but if you are sure, if your investigations have been made that this person is a kidnapper, whether an informant or a core kidnapper with a gun, kill the person, because I think death.
So you're saying kidnappers should not be allowed to see the break of dawn?
They should not, because if you remember back then in Abia State, during the case of during the time of Osisi Kanko, there is one top kidnapper in Abia State. The military came. In fact, they called it jungle justice, but they came. If they catch you as a kidnapper, they kill you instantly. In fact, there was somebody back then that I knew that was a banker. Sorry, I'm taking you so far. Yes. There was a banker back then, a marketer in the bank, one of these banks. This guy, he was caught, and the facts were so glaring that he was an informant.
He was working with the kidnappers. Yes,
he was an informant. This thing happened this is over 12 years ago. Do you know till date? The guy, I've never seen him, I've not heard from him. Somebody I know face to face, never knew that he had such a case. It was later that they now told me, this guy was an informant, and possibly that he's dead. My brother, I can believe right now that the guy is dead, because there is no other information about him. We've not heard from him since the army took him from his house. Are you getting that? And okay, I'm not justifying killings, okay, but I don't see any other way in this country that will fight kidnapping, because these guys are after they kill people. They're after people's lives. If you don't, in many cases, if you don't send ransom, they kill the person. And let's not also forget ritualists. The rate of ritualism in this country, or rituals in this country, has gone so high. And what I expect the government to do is, our lawmakers to do is to bring tougher punishments and also reduce the time of these cases. Get a special court to try these people. That within 90 days maximum, 90 days might even be too. Within 90 days, let them go. They don't deserve to be among the living.
Okay, strong words from you, Mr. Victor. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And as for you who have been watching us to this hour, thank you so much for sticking there and being faithful to your screen till this very minute. We really appreciate you. Without you, we would not be here. This is where we have to call it a wrap on today's segment of the newspaper review for today, the 29th day of April 2022. My name remains Cyril Aloysius. Please do want to follow us on all our social media platforms. YouTube is at TAP TV, Instagram TAP TV_NG, Facebook TAP TV, and on Twitter is at TAP TV. Until we come your way again next time, do have a blessed and wonderful day.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.